CBS News Bay Area Afternoon Edition with Ann Mekovic.
Right now on the afternoon edition, rain hitting parts of the Bay Area this noon hour, and we are timing it out in your neighborhoods. Meantime, travelers dealing with some delays at SFO because of wind. Arriving flights behind an average of almost an hour. Thanks for joining us this Wednesday afternoon. As you can see, it is a first alert weather day. Radar is lighting up, and Jessica Birch here to walk us through. Take it away.
No, Ann, I get it. It's a mess of a storm right now for a lot of reasons, clearly causing issues at the airports locally when it comes to winds. We're also continuing to see just the threat of thunderstorm activity into the afternoon hours today. So as you take a look behind me, this is just the next 24 hours of the storm, but I want to go back the past 24 hours and show you what we've seen so far on the map. Over a half an inch in places like Los Gatos, over close to an inch, actually all the way up into Novato at 0.95. Now here's the reality. We're going to continue to add to this throughout the next 24 hours. We could see an additional 1/10 of an inch of rain anywhere from San Francisco across the Bay Bridge with spotty showers on and off all day into Oakland, across the Sacramento Valley, and then eventually all the way up into the Sierra Tahoe region. So as I pull up this map and just kind of paint the picture a little bit larger now, this area of low pressure continues to wring out lots of moisture today, and a lot of instability in the atmosphere means there's a chance for thunderstorm activity today here in the Bay, in the Sacramento Valley, and then snow up into the Sierra too, where they're under winter storm warnings and advisories issued by the National Weather Service into the overnight hours tonight. Now, we zoom all the way into places like Monterey and Santa Cruz. That's where some of the most active weather is happening right now. We continue to track a little bit more north. Spotty on and off showers are in the forecast currently in places along the peninsula and off into the East Bay. We'll continue to track this locally for all of our microclimates, and I'll time the rest of the storm for you out coming up in just a bit. But for now, back to you, Ann.
All right, thanks, Jess. In the Santa Cruz Mountains, people bracing for flooding and power outages. Crews are trimming trees away from power lines before these winds start whipping up, and the CHP reminding drivers to slow down. And check out this fresh powder at Sierra at Tahoe. The resort says that is 8 inches of new snow. Multiple feet expected for the next week. That is a big shift after the snowpack dropped to just 47% of normal. We are going to keep tracking this rain and any potential impacts. You can stay with us on our website, kpix.com, or streaming on the free CBS News app. Well, some breaking news. Actor James Van Der Beek has died. He was 48, best known for playing Dawson Leary on Dawson's Creek and for his role in Varsity Blues. Van Der Beek had been battling colorectal cancer. His family announced his death in a statement saying that he passed peacefully. His wife, Kimberly, and their 6 children were there. Now to a developing story out of San Francisco. Today, day 3 of the teacher strike. School Superintendent Maria Su says the negotiations with the teachers union were supposed to start at 11 this morning, but our crew at the scene says so far they have not seen any union negotiators there. During a fiery briefing this morning, Superintendent Su said both sides need to act with urgency to get a deal done. She says union negotiators went home at 10 last night as the district was preparing to present its latest offer. The district is proposing 10% raises for classified staff who are non-teaching employees like paraeducators. But Su says they are still working on healthcare numbers and trying to find new places to trim the budget.
Every single time we increase on one side, we have to decrease on the other side. That is the reality of where we are. Again, we are under state oversight. We are still in negative certification. Wherever we increase, we're going to have to take the cut somewhere else.
Well, we talked to a teacher this morning who told us she feels encouraged by the support teachers have been getting from the community, and she is hoping that will lead to a better contract.
We've doubled the amount of families, students, community members that are out fighting for us, and we're feeling really positive that the community and the city is going to do what's right for teachers and educators, and most importantly, students.
Our Veronica Macias has been following the impact of this strike on tens of thousands of families.
34. Got them from the west side, from the south side, from this side. So it's a way of integrating all the kids.
At Virtue Academy on Potrero Hill, kids are being handed out name tags to get to know one another. New students are enrolling for temporary spots as the strike for the United Educators of San Francisco continues on its 3rd day.
Children definitely should not be the victim of adult fights or the casualty of adult fights. And they're not being educated. their parents, their families are the casualty too. They can't get to work. So we are trying to step up and help the community as best as we can.
Burt Shoe Academy is just one of many locations opening up to take kids in as schools in San Francisco remain closed. Nonprofits, after-school programs, and even churches are showing the spirit of community and helping take in as many children as possible.
It's not real my real school. They just because they strike.
Parents here, though, say they were looking for more than childcare. Families are worried about the loss of education while educators walk off the job.
It's been a big help because I don't want to just drop the kids off at childcare. I want them to continue the education, getting their learning.
With the rain clearing for the morning, physical activities came first. Then students filed in for instruction.
The transition was quite easy for us because he was already going to Burt Shoe for after school.
While parents here say they're grateful to the academy, some are remaining committed to public education.
Listen up, Maria Cell! Listen up, Maria Cell!
As teachers across the city continue on the picket lines, parents are joining at different schools, their children right beside them.
I want my kids to understand that this isn't just a day off of school or a couple days off of school. The teachers who they spend more time with Monday through Friday than I do, who educate them, are fighting for basic rights. We live here in this neighborhood. We pay a ton of taxes. We want our taxes to go to the right places.
The focus here is far removed from the contentious negotiations happening at the War Memorial. It's all about making sure kids continue learning as the strike goes on. Burt Shoe's founder, a former San Francisco school board member, can't help all 50,000 students impacted, but like her, there are many stepping in to help, avoiding the academic loss.
We have English, math, Chinese, science, art, all the regular classes that you have in a school. So we do have a few spaces left for public school students to join our regular students.
And you can stay with us for updates on negotiations and the school closures on our website, kpix.com, and streaming on the free CBS News app. Another Bay Area school district is dealing with major financial pressure right now. San Jose Unified, they say that falling enrollment is cutting into their funding, and the district is weighing plans right now that could close or consolidate up to 9 elementary schools next year. State funding is based on average daily attendance, and the district says 12 of its 26 elementary schools have fewer than 350 students. Those campuses are now under review. A task force of parents, teachers, and district leaders called the Schools of Tomorrow Committee met last night to talk about their options. Hundreds of parents packed that meeting, raising concerns and questions.
We have a strong enrollment, we have a stable staffing, we have enrichment programs. And so Williams is not the problem to solve here. We're the model to protect.
Why close down the schools that perform well? Why close down the schools that have parent involvement?
Families plan to speak out again tomorrow at the monthly school board meeting. The committee still has a few weeks to make its official recommendation. The school board says it will make its final decision on March 12th, which is coming up. Other Bay Area school districts were also dealing with budget issues. Later today, West Contra Costa Unified will vote on a major budget cut plan to avoid a state takeover. That plan would cut $42 million from next year's budget. It would also mean cuts to staffing by 10% and a merger of Betty Reed Soskin Middle School and Pinole Middle School. City schools in Santa Rosa also meeting later tonight. That district facing a state takeover if it doesn't cut about $23 million through the next school year. District leaders propose job cuts and potentially splitting the money from grants. Moving around the Bay now for more headlines in your community. We start in Alameda County. People angry after learning that license plate reader cameras were accessed by the feds. An update, Alameda County supervisors delayed a vote on renewing the sheriff's contract with the company that provides those cameras. Alameda County supervisors say they will revisit the proposal on April 21st. In the South Bay, San Jose trying to close a budget gap, and voters will have a say. The city council is considering a June ballot measure that would raise San Jose's hotel tax from 10% to 12%. City officials estimate that increase would bring in about $10 million for the general fund each year. money that could go towards services like public safety and to deal with homeless encampments. If approved, the hike would take effect on October 1st. Still ahead here at noon and streaming on CBS News Bay Area, the latest developments in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. The mystery continues. Hear from the person who was questioned and detained and then released. Also, taking another live look outside before we head to break. There are those rain clouds building in the South Bay. We are expecting more rain all around this Wednesday. We'll track it out when we get back. More twists and turns. Authorities detained and then released a man in connection with the kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie. It's the first time a person of interest has been publicly identified in the more than 10 days since she disappeared. It was a delivery driver named Carlos who told CBS News that he was detained for questioning last night, but was released after a few hours. The FBI and local sheriff's department searched his home about an hour south of Tucson, where Guthrie disappeared. Carlos described the encounter and says he's hoping officers do find the right suspect.
They just told me, stop moving. Like, what's your name? Carlos. And that's it. They put me in the cop car. I hope they get the suspect, because I'm not it. They better do their job and find the suspect that did it so they can clear my name.
This comes just hours after the FBI released this new security video showing an armed, masked person outside Guthrie's home the night she disappeared. The investigators are urging anyone with information to come forward. 10 people are dead following Canada's deadliest rampage since the year 2020. According to police, the shootings happened yesterday at a school and then a home in remote British Columbia. 7 people died and dozens more were injured in the shooting at Tumbler Ridge Secondary School. And police say 2 more people were found dead at a nearby home, along with the woman they believe was the shooter. Attorney General Pam Bondi testifying on Capitol Hill today as the Justice Department faces pushback over the latest release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. Natalie Brandt has more from D.C.
This is not an issue that's going away, and we're not going to stop.
Survivors of Jeffrey Epstein are demanding answers from the Justice Department about what some lawmakers estimate are 2.5 million documents still being withheld related to the convicted sex offender's case.
The DOJ needs to do its job. Give us the rest of the files and start the investigations.
Their pleas came ahead of Attorney General Pam Bondi's testimony before the House Judiciary Committee, where she faced questions about the DOJ's handling of the files.
You apologize to the survivors in your opening statement for what they went through at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein. Will you turn to them now and apologize for what your Department of Justice has put them through?
I'm not going to get in the gutter for her theatrics.
Survivors, in a new letter to Attorney General Bondi, say the files remain incomplete in a way that is both, quote, staggering and indefensible.
We've released more than 3 million pages, including 180,000 images, all to the public, while doing our very best in the time frame allotted by the legislation to protect victims.
Survivors allege the redactions protect some high-profile individuals while at the same time revealing some victim names and exposing identifying information.
Abusers' names and contact information is redacted while our faces and stories are left on full display. This is not protection. This is betrayal.
The Department of Justice maintains it's working to identify, review, and redact any potential victim information.
All right, let's take a check on Wall Street now. The Dow is down just a little bit, about 20 points, on the heels of a stronger than expected jobs report for January. This was released just after the brief government shutdown. Employers adding 130,000 jobs last month, double economists' expectations, while the unemployment rate ticked down slightly to 4.3%. Sectors like healthcare and social assistance, both heavily dependent on government funding, saw continued growth, and construction bounced back after losses last year. But payrolls fell in federal government and parts of the finance industry last month. Back to our first alert of weather, because that is top story on a lot of people's minds today as we take another live look outside. This is our camera on the Mark Hopkins Hotel looking south. Checking back in with meteorologist Jessica Birch. How long is this sticking around?
Oh man, those raindrops are intimidating. And as we take a quick look at conditions widespread throughout the Bay Area, better yet, let's just head to the map. I want to start off a little bit more widespread with the whole state of California, showing you the next 24 hours. Now, this morning we continue to see on and off showers here in the Bay Area, but at the same time that was happening, we were seeing storms push off into the east. The Sierra currently under winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories. And as I drop this map and pull up a little bit closer of a map, I just want to show you the past 24 hours. This has been such an active storm for us here locally. Over a half an inch has fallen so far in places like Los Gatos, close to an inch all the way up into Novato. Let's just zoom into those numbers. This is the past 24 hours. And as I show you the next 24 hours, we're continuing to add to those totals an additional 1/10 of an inch in places like Santa Rosa, even more than that into Novato. Similar conditions into San Francisco with a chance of thunderstorm activity in the forecast for us throughout the afternoon and evening hours tonight, as there's a lot of instability in the atmosphere. So let's go right back into that first alert Doppler, and let's actually head down into places like Monterey and Santa Cruz, dealing with some of the most active weather right now. We're seeing light to moderate pockets of rain. Potential for thunderstorm activity today. We can see lightning, hail possible as well, and we continue to track a little bit more north where those winds are whipping and strong. Current wind gust anywhere up to around 20 miles per hour in places like San Francisco. We're tracking this closely. Now, the timeline of this storm, it's going to start dying down as early as tomorrow. But from now until the next 24 hours, we continue to watch the rotation of this area of low pressure push in from offshore and eventually south as we wake up Thursday morning. Now, Thursday afternoon, that's when we dry up fast here in the Bay Area. We'll wake up to some morning fog here in the Bay, especially over into the East Bay, so visibility may be a little bit lower, and that might make that morning commute a little bit more stubborn, of course, for our Thursday forecast. Similar conditions on Friday, but at least Thursday afternoon and Friday afternoon are dry days. So we kick off this weekend nice and dry. Saturday is that transition day where we start to see more heavy clouds roll in from offshore. And as early as Sunday, heading into early next week, we're kicking off the week with more showers in the forecast. Now, this lines up with what the Climate Prediction Center has to say. They said throughout the next 6 to 10 days, we're gearing up for wetter than normal conditions here in the Bay Area and all throughout the state of California. We'll have more on that in a bit. For now, back to you.
All right, thank you, Jess. Coming up, it was not a winning moment, the on-air confession that has this Olympian in the doghouse. Some drama in Milan. Have you heard about this? A Winter Olympic star who confessed to cheating on his girlfriend on live TV says he is still hoping to win her back. Norwegian Olympian Sturla Holmlegren made that shocking admission after winning the bronze medal in the 20-kilometer biathlon yesterday. He called it the biggest mistake of his life. And listen to his reason for telling the world about it.
Maybe there's a chance that she will see what she really means to me. And maybe not. But I don't want to think I didn't try everything to get her back.
Wow, since that news conference, the girlfriend told a Norwegian tabloid that even after that declaration of love in front of the whole world, it is hard to forgive. I don't know, I feel like he learned his lesson though, poor guy. Coming up, Latin music in focus. We're gonna look at the lineup for Napa's 2-day La Onda Festival coming back in May. J Balvin is headlining Napa's Festival La Onda 2026. Organizers just announced the main act of the 2-day Latin Music Festival, Mexican rock band Maná. Singers Christian Nodal and Ian Cornejo also set to headline the festival at the Napa Valley Expo. That is coming up May 30th and 31st. This year's lineup attempts to address criticism that the previous shows leaned too heavily on Mexican regional music. So now we're going all over the Americas. Tickets go on sale on Friday. Thanks for joining us for the afternoon edition. We're going to keep you posted on the latest on that teacher strike all day long. We are streaming 24/7.